Hello there. Testing. I'm I'm pretending to be what do you call them things? Not the Lannisters, because they're actually pretty good looking. Obviously not the Baratheon. Not he didn't even have any of the kids. What a fucking fat dumbass. But the brother and the sister. Incest. Yeah, that's the one. So it's like that, but even if there was, imagine that there was 23 generations of incest, consensual incest, might I add you? But they just kept having sex, like the two most fucked up ones just kept fucking each other. You know, so you hear me yelling at things and they're not really there. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't pay no mind if you hear them. And if you do, that would mean that you're on the right path. And if you don't, that means you're probably as retarded as the them. Or you're not part of this planet anymore. She did the planet and the ice wall. They're one and the same. You can't have one without the other. Just like you can't have incest without the I'm talking like high quality in the incest. Without the two most fucked people. Fucking each other. Now, mind, this is not a rape incest compound here in Louisiana. Baton Rouge. Anybody ever been to Walmart? Or the Target? Honey, what did it called? The one with the dot. With the puppy dog. Target. Oh, you did it. Yeah. Sorry, that's my sister. God, she's a nice piece of ass. We had a 24th generation. Now I heard on the box with the papers. What do they call that? It's like a box with the knob. You ever seen my grandson? He's the 26th. He was showing me did this. It's like it's weird. It's people on a screen having sex, but they're not related. I don't understand. I don't even. Is that legal? No, for real. Is that legal there? To have sex with somebody, you have to keep the that like that the bloodline pure, like Walter White. But my I think you get my mud jug. Yes, the big one. Yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, it just like thin little. Got an apple on it. It did. Can somebody please help me understand this? These two pe- peeps. They're they're on food porn. And that I looked. I had my grandson look it up in the online dictionary. Apparently, there's two kinds of food porn. Back in my day, we just fucked our sister. Or our mother. What the hell's happening in this world? That's why everybody's retarded. Purity. Purity. It's like they were shoving corn on the cob up each other's asses. Anyways, that was a little. Grandpa, go sit down, please. Sorry about that. He doesn't like food porn very much. It's where this is like a really weird part, like a dark corner of the internet. I don't know how he even got this thing on. He recorded 8 minutes. Yeah, him and Grandma are. What would my grandpa's sister, wife, but sister? I don't even know if they have a term for that. They should though, because they're the happiest damn couple I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, did you hear him? He's fucking like brain dead. He's never seen two black people shove corn on the cob with sour cream and seasoning and butter and salt and pepper and that fucking like like that red seasoning that black people put on their fucking corn. It's actually really fucking good. You know when it's a lot better is when it's shoved inside of somebody's colon. You ever seen the inside of a colon? I swear to God, I don't know why they. That's what happens when you are born in Louisiana. That's what happens when you live in Louisiana. You stay there for some reason. That's the byproduct of that. So I was showing. I mean, they do carrots, cucumbers, pickles, bananas. What other ones? You ever seen like it's like an onion the size of a softball? It is. They just shove like large penis-sized usually penis-sized shaped vegetables and some fruits. You ever seen a dragon fruit shoved up somebody's ass? It's not fun to get out, I'd imagine. Now, these people, they do this because, I don't know, they like to clean out each other's colons with like vegetables that are long enough to reach inside of the colon and like, because for me, and I should probably do this. I don't know. Maybe I just need to find a black woman. But if I need to, I haven't taken a laxatives in a while, and for a while there, I took a couple of them because I don't know if anybody else has this issue. But I can, whenever I take, like, I used to like take shits and I could like still feel like I needed to shit. I swear to God, I felt like there was like a huge wall of like moldy shit caked on the inside of my colon, like hardened. I'm sure everybody has this issue. Why else would there be laxatives? I'm not even kidding. Like, you can, not anymore. I might take another one just to, it's good to take one every once in a while just to clear out all the. It's like when you use a lawnmower for too long and you don't like look under, you don't check the blade or the area under the lawnmower where all the grass builds up. For all you lawn mowing enthusiasts, if you haven't ever checked under the lawnmower, you're not an enthusiast, first of all. Second of all, that's how you maintain like good equipment and you don't have any malfunctions or problems on the job or, in your relaxation life. I mow the lawn to not blow my brains out. But if you wait a couple of weeks, all the wet grass and dirt and mud will build up. And if you look under there, it starts getting moldy. There's like white mold from the wet grass and mud. And, fingers, maybe you like didn't bury one of your victims well enough. In which case, what would you do? Fire up the grill, obviously. Have you seen the inflation prices? Jesus. No, and that's the thing. I wouldn't bury any of them either. You need to harvest like the organ. If you're This is what I don't understand about people who are sick enough to murder another human being. Like, do you know how much internal organs are worth on the black market? I'm not even joking. Like, you have two kidneys. You can sell one of. You can sell one of. I already talked about this, but the international organ, not donations, organ trade, international internal organ market, free market. I mean, people are just running around killing for like, because AI is bullying them into shooting their classmates, which is, possibly the government's fault. Uh, Not too cool. That's really not a very cool thing to do if that's true. I really hope to God that theory of mine is wrong, but it makes a lot of sense. I touch on it in episode 16 or 18. 18 and maybe another one or two of them. I know Silence of the Lambs, which, not the lambs you're thinking of. The dark side of transplant tourism. Well, we got to keep it light here sometimes, folks. Otherwise, you end up killing yourself and not having like an internal organ donation plan on the black market for your family. This is the second in a 2-part series about the international organ black market and how bad actors are using different means to buy and sell body parts. An organ black market thrives in certain regions based on skirted laws, bad actors, and unethical approach to broader organ transplantation. And law enforcement collaboration at the international level is the only way to curb it, experts have told Newsweek. A Newsweek investigation previously uncovered a global marketplace trafficking organs through social media channels like Telegram and the dark web. I love that social media app, the dark web. Some of the traffickers operate openly in the public domain, facilitated by organ harvesting conducted through coercion or exploitation. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime estimates what? There were around 700 victims trafficked for organ removal between 2008 and 2020. Jesus. But numbers are difficult to parse based. My voice is a bit raspy. I've been screaming out loud when I'm mowing the lawn at full volume just to see if that would work, help calm the nerves. But numbers are difficult, combined with transplant tourism, in quotes, with the World Health Organization, WHO, estimating in 2018 that 10,000 kidneys, the most trafficked organ, because you only need one of them, really, are traded annually on the black market. Holy cow. Transplant tourism refers to individuals who travel abroad to more easily obtain readily accessible organs for transplantation, either from poorer or desperate individuals who will sell body parts like kidneys, a lobe of the liver, or a cornea in nations with fewer laws and regulations, or from wealthier, more developed nations with long waiting lists. God. The role of governments. Oh my God, this is a long. How can this article be so long? Francis Del Monaco has been on the forefront of organ transplantation for more than 50 years, becoming an international figure in combating an illicit black market that exists in certain parts of the world. He carries many titles. Oh, good for him. Former surgeon at Harvard Medical School. What? He was probably the one, like, selling the babies in the out the back door. They do that. Some of these doctors are not too patient friendly. They're not very pro-patient. But I mean, I guess they were patient to getting their medical license and their degree at Harvard Medical School simply to, be the bearer of bad news over and over. I mean, I'm sure they would probably I hope to God, knowing the state of the world, probably not, but you would hope that somebody or some organization, the government is keeping track of the rate of dead, pronounced dead baby fetuses after birth, shit like that, or botched surgeries where somebody dies and then because some of these doctors are pretty shady. It's not a bad idea if you care about people. Past president of non-governmental organization. Yeah, screaming at the top of the lungs doesn't work. Ignoring doesn't work. Talking doesn't work. Proving the sad state of a fake non-existence doesn't work. Well, a non-existence, excuse me. I like to, it's very particular, the things. Well, they're not even things. You need to come up with a new word in the English language to describe a nothing. You know? Describe a nothing. You just put a blank line. You know, when the NFL tweeted out yesterday or the day before, something about the fucking dumb NFL highlight. And at the end of the sentence, it was just blanks. You just do underscore over and over and over and over and over. Like a blank word. Fill in the blank. Except there is no word to fill because it's nothing. Much like the quote-unquote dead baby that this surgeon probably just, threw it in the trash. That's what they would probably do. This government probably, unfortunately, they probably are the ones behind that too. Or maybe I'm wrong about everything. How about that? How about I'm just wrong about everything? I'm fine with that. I wish I was. Yeah, no. So back to the organ transplantation and the black market of organ, I guess, trading, selling. The Transplantation Society, which has a presence in over 100 nations. What? Only half the countries have the Transplantation Society. It's right after that. Suppress. Advisor on organ donation transplantation to the WHO since 2006. I'm just talking a bunch of shit. I'll talk about it on the next episode. Or I won't. How many listeners do we have right now? Out of the 46 episodes, I probably have a total number of, let's see here, 580 plays. Because I deleted some of the episodes when I first started because I was a weird fucking gay faggot. So that's 11 or 12 plays per episode. Half of them me. So yeah, we got a real good listener base going on here. He has traveled to more than 70 countries, including China, Iran, Nepal, Sudan, and Canada, to discourage trafficking while touting the proven surgical procedure of transplantation. By 2005, Delmonico and colleagues discovered that trafficking accounted for approximately 10% of all annual kidney, liver, and heart transplants. Jesus. God damn. Black market transactions are still common today in the Indian subcontinent, Africa, and the Middle East. Wait, what? These countries aren't buying the organs, are they? I mean, maybe. South Africa? Delmonico noted, aided by physicians. God, this fucking like mic thing gets in the way of my vision. Like my line of sight when I'm trying to read my laptop. From other countries who may travel to Egypt or elsewhere if deals are negotiated. He and other international transplant experts called organ shortages the root cause of organ trafficking and transplant tourism, practices that pose a severe risk to individual and public health and to the notion of national self-sufficiency. Organs ought to be voluntarily given, Delmonico told Newsweek. A living donor should not be compensated financially as a motivation for organ donation, and similarly, a deceased donation should be a volunteer situation because otherwise it becomes a market. What? Dude, they're still like bombing each other all over the world, man. It's fucked. Can you put a bomb in? Can you just like shove a hand grenade down my throat? I'd rather, honestly, no, I want to give back to the, I was going to say habitat. Like an endangered species. That's why I really should. I don't want to bulk up for any other reason than for like to have more meat on me. So when a polar bear eats me, if I can find any of them up there, then they can just survive longer, essentially. Because I think I read somewhere like polar bears can survive weeks off of one seal, maybe even like over a month. Because the way their bodies are, like the way their body metabolizes the whale blubber or seal blubber. I don't know what the fuck else they would eat on the ice. Because there's no penguins in the North Pole, like the Arctic Circle. All the penguins are in Antarctica, which is so like. Why haven't we done that as a human race? The polar bears are going extinct, right? Penguins. Penguin population. Because there are no penguins in the Arctic Circle, which is north. Oh, there's 44. Of course, yeah. This is the thing with the internet, man. 44 million penguins. Worldwildlife.org. You can get all the information about all the unfortunately endangered species. I don't know why we haven't even done this before. Jesus, there's 17 to 19 species of birds that live primarily in the southern hemisphere. They include the tiny blue penguins of blah 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 blah. Yeah, they're not very. They don't weigh very much. Like two. Oh wow. Oh Jesus! I thought it was 2.8 pounds. Anywhere from 2 pounds to 80. Jesus. Longing for love. Climate change is a growing concern for penguins that live in Antarctica. The emperor penguin and the Adelie penguins. These species depend on sea ice for access to food. What do they eat in Antarctica? Fish. I'm just surprised that there's many fish living in that cold of water, that shallow. It doesn't really make sense when you think about it. Oh, they're rescuing one from a fish net. That's good. Hmm. From polar bears in the Arctic to penguins in Antarctic, climate change is having a devastating impact on animals around the world. So what are we going to do about it? How about just instead of just mentioning and bringing up the fact that this is happening, how about we do something? Like take 1 million of the penguins, maybe 2, and ship them up north. No, for real. Why should we not do this? Because let's look at 44 million. Helping other species. Oh my god. Usually I feel a certain way when I'm on the mic, and you can hear that at the beginning. And something, I feel a bit of a mood shift. Maybe I'm like maybe it's just one of the personality changes. You know, when you like are I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about penguins today and how you can sell a kidney to China. Because I will be getting back to that. Because it's a tough world out there, man. We should ship some of the humans to the Arctic Circle. I mean, why not? Because China just kills their children. I think if you have more than one child, they just kill the kid. You could fuck your 14-year-old kid. Or you can have your neighbor can consensually have sex with your 14-year-old daughter, but you can't have another one. That's like a boy that will probably get fucked too. Hmm. I just want to know how many penguins there are and if they can survive in the Arctic Circle. Because this is not a bad idea. I'm not even kidding. Because with the ice melting for the polar bears from a documentary I watched like probably 5 years ago at least, like even in some of the winter, like I know in the summer months, a lot of the polar bears are forced to the land, which like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, they never had to leave the ice because it's so warm. They would just stay on the ice even in the summer. And really the only thing they eat for the most part is seals. I don't know what the fuck else they would eat out there on the ice. Huh. Really nothing. Other polar bears? Yeah. So that's why the numbers are going down too. I wanted a specific number. God, I can't wait. Oh, and apparently there's not very many restrictions on krill fishing. Krill fishing is highly concentrated in one specific area at the northwestern tip of the peninsula. Pew is campaigning to push fishing further away from shore and to establish a marine protected area. What? Without stricter protections. But they're planning on, yeah, this is the thing. Just contradict the fucking beginning part of the paragraph. All three of the penguin species we study have diets dominated by krill. So, with this decreased ice and presumably less krill, how could adelies be decreasing while chinstraps and gentoos are increasing? These are all species of penguin. One would think that if krill were decreasing, all these penguins would also be decreasing. But this is clearly not the case in our study area. Yeah. After you like my voice has been, yeah, I haven't been yelling in the last couple days. It was mostly the 2 weeks before that just screaming. Currently, the fishing companies that operate in the Antarctic are fishing well below the trigger level established by the Commission for the Conservation of Antarctic Marine Living Resources, which governs fishing around the continent. CCAM-LR regulates catches to stay within 620,000 metric tons. Goddamn, I need a cough drop or something. Where'd my cough drops go? I'm gonna pause the thing here. We're already at 41 minutes. That's good. Alrighty there, folks. It's time to get back to the show. I was looking up Hitman prices to see if I could hire somebody to. And I thought I wondered if they have any Hitman inside of the void that is my empty brain. You know, which is nothing. It's really nothing. So you hire nothing to do nothing to kill nothing. Painless poison. 42,000. That's a steal of the week. Steal of the year, maybe. Dark Mamba. Alright, okay. Alright. Back to the penguins. So the penguins. What is the penguin population? Here we go. Britannica. Oh, rusty, trusty Britannica. Yeah, we get the features. We know what penguins are. Well, the nothings don't, but hey. They're extinct. If only somebody could have saved them in time. I'm trying to find a number on the population in terms of living penguins. And can they survive in the Arctic Circle? I don't know why they wouldn't be able to. Not a very cool website. Not much details on there. Map PPD. Who are we? We're a bunch of human beings who run a bestiality penguin porn website. Ocean late nights. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, I'm a bit tired. They have penguins in Brazil. Bullshit. I like Brazil. 44 million, a couple of sites are saying. Oh boy. Another falling asleep moment. You know how those go. Yeah. It's about 3:14 a.m. Wednesday, August 21st. All right, let's get back into it. 44 million penguins. All right, can penguins live in the Arctic Circle? Why there are no penguins in the Arctic? Need to know stuff, folks. Need to know. I need to at least. Maybe maybe that's why the polar bears are all extinct. Why are there no penguins in the Arctic? Now that we know that the wingless avians are only found in the southern hemisphere and only in a small area of the northern hemisphere, the question still remains as to why there are no penguins in the Arctic. Over the past decade, scientific expeditions to penguin colonies in different parts of the world have shown that these animals are thriving on their own, especially in the frigid environment of Antarctica. Yet no penguins have been found. What? No. Yet no penguins have been found in the rest of the northern hemisphere, including the Arctic, which borders some parts of the United States, Canada, Greenland, Russia, Norway, and Iceland. Experts indicate that there are no penguins in the Arctic due to the likelihood that they have not spread further enough to the north since they are flightless birds. This morphological characteristic limits their northward migration. It's all good. Go help the people. I'll talk. Yeah. I'll talk about the God guy on the next episode. I don't like to beat a dead horse too much. I like to talk about the penguins. Furthermore, penguins, being unable to fly, can only survive in places with no land predators, according to experts. This means that they would not survive across the Arctic wilderness where predators like foxes, polar bears, and wolves roam around. But that's the whole point. They're like sitting ducks. I mean, a polar bear is gonna walk up on a school of penguins and be set all winter. For instance, potential Arctic penguins could witness constant disruption in hunting from these mammal predators. In the south, although Antarctica has sea dwelling predators like orca or killer whale, there is no large land predators on it, according to the American Museum of Natural History, except humans. However, penguins in the southern hemisphere are also threatened by something else: climate change. All right, how many polar bears are there? 22,000 to 31,000. 19 distinct subpopulations of polar bears. Bullshit. It's a fucking polar bear, dude. That can't be true. Of course it's not. It's Hayden's devices on the internet. Of course it's not true. Whoa. Wow. I guess the polar bear population has tripled since the 1960s at 32,000 or so. Interesting. Hmm. The State of the Polar Bear Report of 2023. God, they're really cute bears. They are the most deadly of the three, though. I mean, if you're not including the panda. If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. You know, anything black. And if it's white, good night, baby. Get toast. So, that's crazy. God, I like polar bears. Habitat and primary productivity. Hmm. Convenient. The timing. Just kidding. God and Jesus and the gods are they're out helping the peeps who need the help. And by God, I mean my heroin dealer. I just got a new one. It's pretty much just fentanyl at this point. Crockford said the consequences of this survey are enormous. It means there has been no statistically significant trend in western Hudson Bay polar bear numbers since at least 2004. This result absolutely guts computer model predictions of future polar bear catastrophe that assume western Hudson Bay numbers have been steadily declining. It guts it. Yeah, that's a word right there that wouldn't be used, and it shouldn't be used. This result absolutely guts, GUTS, computer model predictions of future polar bear catastrophe that assume western Hudson Bay numbers have been steadily declining. You know, like when you gut Grizzly Chew, which I'm actually about to go buy some at the gas station. I was actually about to leave here in a few minutes. So that's why the word guts is in this article. And that's the only reason. No, I'm not crazy. There is now fairly strong evidence that the subpopulation boundaries in Hudson Bay need to be adjusted and have their previous population estimates recalculated. A similar issue is acknowledged in Alaska, where for decades fairly large numbers of southern Beaufort polar bears have moved back and forth over the current boundary between the Chukchi Sea to the west and the North Beaufort Sea to the east. This means that if you count southern Beaufort bears in one area at one point in time, it may look like a population decline has taken place when it actually hasn't. Western Hudson Bay and the southern Beaufort are the only polar bear subpopulations which appear to show Strong support for the premise that sea ice declines blamed on human-caused global warming have reduced bear abundance. Now we know previous claims are almost certainly incorrect. Dude, like, my depth perception is so insane. I felt like the words on the screen just started, like, moving. They started, like, becoming flat. Like, if there were there's 3 lines. It looked like the lines were just, like, rolling to lay flat on, like, my keyboard. Like, but, like, from the screen. So, like, yeah, rotate flat. Interesting. Take note of that. Interesting. Let's read another article about the bears. No, let's go back to the penguins. It's a really interesting topic. Polar bears and penguins. You think that they were meant to be, like, living together? Oh, this is a nice one. A very heated debate. This is a nice debate question. Could penguins and polar bears swap habitats? Now we're cooking. Penguins and polar bears, they're both cold, they're both icy, and they're both surrounding a bowl. Is it a hard or a soft one? Is there a hole? Nope. And it's soft. It's actually gone inside of the very center of like the that's like the very, what do you call that on the globe? The very South Pole, North Pole. It actually goes inside of the Earth, the pole. But Earth's Arctic and Antarctic are very different kinds of places. Most of the Arctic is sea ice connected to surrounding land masses. Brown bears from northern hemisphere forests probably walked into the Arctic long ago. Over the eons, they adapted to their snowy surroundings to become white polar bears. Wow. Bullshit. Antarctica, on the other hand, is a landmass surrounded by an ocean. Penguins couldn't have walked into Antarctica. It's thought that ancestors of today's penguins could fly. They might have flown to Antarctica. Penguins wouldn't fare very well transplanted to the Arctic. That's because they have very special requirements for feeding and breeding. Also in Antarctica, partly because there are no bears, you can walk right up to a penguin. All their natural predators come from sea. So penguins in the Arctic would be very vulnerable to predators. Yeah, but I mean, on the other hand, if you transplanted polar bears to Antarctica, there might be some denning problems for the female bears, but polar bears might do extremely well feeding on Antarctic penguins and seals that have never known a predator on land. Why don't we bring some polar bears down south? Just try it out. No, for real. What else are we doing in this world? No, what? I mean, I get the whole penguin thing because they're just going to be like sitting ducks up there, and in the summertime, the Arctic ice melts. So sometimes the polar bears have to come swim to land, which they never used to do. They used to just live on the ice year round, and all they eat is seals, really. Maybe foxes or wolf here and there, caribou. But they would have the time of their life in Antarctica. That's another really, really interesting rabbit hole I went down one time. The ownership of like big cats, medium-sized cats, bears. It's like this one YouTube channel. It just shows a bunch of people with like exotic animals. It's actually really cool. Grizzly bear pet. I might have to pause this and to watch the video. Beastly. Yep, there it is. Recently watched, yeah. Alright, I'll be right back. It's been a really this episode is fucking spaced out over like the last day or two. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I'm like in a brain fog. I'm just getting back into this international internal organs. Like if you only want like one lung, you could sell the other one. I don't know if they take really like black. You ever seen like the black tar lungs for people who smoke? I mean, it looks like it's they pour asphalt onto the street roads in the summer, and it gets like there's like a big chunk that hardens and is in pieces, but it's still kind of hot and wet. That's what the lung looks like. I was doing the math the other day, and I was like, man, how many fucking cigarettes have I smoked in like 11 or 12 years? Yeah, 11 years. It's probably like 20,000. No, maybe even more than that. Because I used to roll them. And I know, folks, times are tough, so that's why I would roll cigarettes. Joe Biden has fucked this country for the last time. Kamalama Ding Dong and what is it? Fucking Don Wolf, Tim Walz, whatever the fuck his name is. Our governor here in Minnesota. He's the VP, dude. I don't know what happened to Joe. I thought he died back when he had COVID like a month ago. I saw that he got COVID after the debates. I'm like, oh shit, man. It's probably time for him to croak. It's time to check out, Joe. No, he's still going. I don't know how COVID didn't kill that guy. If COVID doesn't kill Joe Biden, but we're shutting down the world for it, I mean, we truly have lost all like sense of logic and reason. Well, unless you're the money grubbing politicians who, you know, they were cooking up the virus like crack in China with the Chinese. Biden was probably there. Like when you cook crack on a spoon, you put cocaine in a spoon, and you put some, I guess, some water. I don't even know. And then some baking soda, and you just hold the lighter under it, and then it turns into crack rock. So that's what they were doing with COVID. Because, the vaccines, obviously. But if that thing isn't killing Joe Biden, what the fuck are we shutting down the entire world for? I mean, he dropped out after the debate because he's like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'm not even joking. I thought he died because I saw that Kamala was like gonna she there's this one sports betting website. Well, all of them have this, but they have like political lines, which I might go over and I haven't been recording much lately because I'm like trying to process what my life has become, and I'm at a bit of a fork in the road. My God is a gracious God. My God is a loving God. No, that's not a bit. I wonder how many people got the vaccine or like one shot of it because I feel like it's like spreading through the fucking country like a like a fucking zombie like apocalypse, like one dude gets bit by a zombie and then it just fucking spreads like wildfire. Planes are falling out of the sky. If they're even taking off. Well, they are by my house. They are by my house quite often, actually, believe it or not. This is how much your body is. Oh, I already did this one. Organ trade. Now, these are the kinds of articles that I like. UAB Institute for Human Rights blog. A legal organ market. Should it exist? For those of us who have obtained a driver's license, there is an option to mark oneself as an organ donor upon death. However, for kidneys, living donors are also a possible option. After all, everyone has two kidneys, and most people can function well with only one. Unless you're me, like 3 years ago. Even so, live donors are few and far between. In the United States, donations are only legal option for people to obtain organs, and often those donations fall short of actual demand. For example, one source states that the amount of kidney transplants able to be administered in a year within the U.S. is about 20,000, far less than the 100,000 a year that would be needed in order to meet the demand. Huh. So they got an extra 80,000 people waiting for a kidney. Down, get on the dark web. Furthermore, the same source explains that under the current laws, some people have to wait nearly 10 years in order to receive Jesus Christ to receive a kidney transplant. And often people on the waiting list die before they are able to even receive a transplant. There are many arguments as to why organs should only be acquired through donations. However, there is also compelling evidence as to why making the buying and selling of organs a legal practice is the best way to save the greatest number of people. Isn't that the goal? Just save the people. What if the people don't want to be saved? Dude, my vision is like, it's fake though. This has happened. This is the third time this has happened. And all three of them different kinds of blurry vision. Or like vision impairment. So the first time back in February, March, maybe a little bit of January, like the very middle of wherever I was looking, right in the middle. So like you have your peripheral around, and then right in the middle, it was like there was like an underwater ocean current of small little ripple waves. And it would get bigger, then it would get smaller, and then it'd go away, and then it'd get bigger. This was going on for like 2 months. I thought, oh my God. Is it time to wake up from the coma dream back then? Because, we'd never kill ourselves. We'd never commit suicide. At least that's what I thought my former self told me back then. But, that's God now. I know that's God now. God. So I thought, from doing research online, go listen to the other episodes. Yeah, who gives a shit about vision? And that's the thing. In that jail cell, when I saw the light and the vision and ascending into heaven, even if I went blind, something tells me that I would still be able to see the light. Because that's just how dope God is. I think he would literally give me my sense of seeing, my sense of vision back after being blind, theoretically, hypothetically, whatever. And I'd still be able to see the light. So I'm not really worried. Actually, the opposite of worried, excited. One of the arguments against making the buying and selling of organs legal is that it would likely lead to a society where only the rich would be able to access life-saving organ transplants, and the poor would be the main contributors to these organs, of those organs. Currently, the U.S. system wards against this inequality by not paying or charging people for organs and only granting people organ transplants by putting them on a first-come, first-served waiting list. This means that regardless of whether someone is rich or poor, an individual will have the same chance of receiving an organ transplant as the next person. When there is an organ market, it creates an exploitative dynamic between the rich and the poor, where the poor sell their organs and are often not compensated fairly by the rich people, which makes sense. This is the big reason why the World Health Organization implored states to put an end to transplant tourism. What? What the fuck? I'll click on that word later. I'll just do it now. Oh no, it's the National Library of Medicine. These articles are always. Transplant tourism has caught the eye of the international community as a deeply exploitative practice due in large part to the process of it. This is because it often happens in such a way where the poor sell their organs cheaply to a middleman who then sells those same organs for large sums of money to rich buyers. Jesus. For example, one source points out that in Pakistan, people will give up their kidneys in order to be released from slavery. God. However, I wonder if they gave that same opportunity to the blacks here in this country. And I honestly, they probably didn't. The white dudes at the plantations probably wouldn't want a black kidney. That's how fucking racist they were back then. However, the same article states that when people sell their organs, their health often plummets, and this can cause them to be further plunged into a life of poverty. Therefore, while more organ transplants may be performed under a more capitalist system, it would likely only benefit the upper classes, creating a deeply exploitative and unequal system. No, I'm reading about organ transplantations, not the future timeline theory. Jesus. Oh. Oh. Huh. If you ever need a good eye drop brand, Rotos. Oh. They have a white cap with the white cap Rotos don't hurt as much. They're actually pretty like lubricated. That you know. And they have a green cap, a red cap, and those two are kind of the same for the most part. The red cap is more so for redness relief. These are the best eye drops on the market. And if you're really feeling ballsy, you can get the blue cap. They burn your eyeballs. For like 2 minutes. Dude, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm not a fan of the blue ones. I like the white cap the best. However, systems like the one within the US and similar ones, such as those within the United Kingdom, the kingdom, are not the only viable options. Even though they are more globally accepted ways of dealing with the demand for organs, they are not the only ways. Iran has its own method for handling the demand. Starting in 1988, Iran began a program in which donors were compensated for giving up their organs, thus removing the waiting list for kidney transplants. Within the current system, buyers and sellers are able to buy and sell kidneys for a fixed price of $4,600, while exploitative side deals have been struck outside the government regulated system. Iran has been able to avoid many of the ethical problems. I'm reading about the Iran deal struck outside of the government regulated system. That often arise from the selling of organs. For instance, one study found that while the majority of kidneys sold in Iran came from people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, everyone, whether rich or poor, was able to have equal accessibility to kidney transplants because of funding from charitable organizations. Additionally, as previously mentioned, when a financially God damn it. When a financially desperate individual donates organs, it often results in poor health outcomes, causing that person to become only more economically unstable. Not me, this person selling the organ. However, in Iran's system, donors obtain health care coverage for at least a year after the operation and discounted coverage for additional time following the end of that coverage. While the system is not perfect, it allows the system in Iran for the organ donation of kidneys specifically, not the future timeline theory. It allows those in need of kidneys to gain access to them with relative ease and reduces the exploitation of the poor that is prevalent in countries like Pakistan. There we go. Heaven. Eternal heaven. That's a good one. In the Philippines. It is estimated that if the U.S. set up a similar legal market for the selling of kidneys and paid donors $45,000, it would not only eliminate the waiting list for kidneys, but also save taxpayers $12 billion annually. That can't be true. I'm going to pull up the calc. God damn it. So 45,000. No, we'll do 12 billion. Jeepers. Whoa. Fancy. What in the hell? $12 billion. divided by 45,000. Huh? Oh, I see. This is weird. $12 billion. God. Divided by 45,000. Nice. 266,666.666666666. You don't want to listen to my podcast about organs? Hit the fucking road. I don't give a shit what you want to. Oh, Hayden, nobody really gives a shit. I do. I'm trying to sell a kidney. And I'm trying to find the best country to sell it to before they go bad. In essence, the pros and cons are hard to weigh in the argument for a legal organ market. Monetary rewards for organs cause problems where the poor are at a disadvantage. Even so, compensating donors is an easy way to drastically increase the supply of organs, potentially saving thousands of lives each year. In either situation, I just zoned out that entire two sentences. I have a problem with it like that. I have a very. I do that sometimes. It's not. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm going to read it again. In essence, the pros and cons are hard to weigh in the argument for a legal organ market. Monetary rewards for organs cause problems where the poor are at a disadvantage. Even so, compensating donors is an easy way to drastically increase the supply of organs, potentially saving thousands of lives each year. I did it again, kind of, for the first sentence. I got a serious problem doing that. It's really, like, frustrating me. In either situation, there will be ethical dilemmas. However, it is obvious that if the U.S. wants to eliminate the current waiting list, something will have to change for the kidney organ donor waiting list. If highly regulated, it is not impossible to have a system that both eliminates the waiting list for kidneys and protects donors from being exploited. Iran is a prime example of this. Building off of their foundation, the U.S. Iran's internal organ market. Iran is a prime example of building off of their foundation. The U.S., as well as other countries currently struggling to meet the demand for organs, could use Iran's model, not the Israel-Gaza war, not the money given to Russia, the article that I'm reading. To meet the demand and reduce risks of exploitation. Often associated with the organ market, it seems hopeful that in the coming years, as research continues to be made on the topic, a more viable solution to the demand for organs will be implemented within the U.S. In the U.S., for the demand for organ markets and illegal organ market trading, so mostly in relation to kidneys, not the future timeline theory. Should we do story time? I say we do story time. We'll save the international horse meat consumption episode for later. And the national horse meat consumption, which I don't really think there is one in this country. I don't know why. No, think about it. Think about all the fucking horses we have in this country. There's millions of horses. We don't eat horse meat. What do we do with the horses? I'm serious. We don't bury horses. Do we ship them to France? Because they love eating horse meat. So yeah, I want to do an episode about horse meat consumption. I bet you're thinking, what the fuck? I'm sure most people, like almost 100%, have never thought about like horse meat consumption. But where do all these dead horses go? All right, I'll talk about it later. I want to do a simulation theory episode coming up, disproving simulation theory completely. And I got, what else have we got here on the docket? I want to do an episode about the percentage of carbonated water in all of the carbonated beverages in the U.S. market, popular ones. I want to do an episode on military possibly being psyoped, active duty military members being psyoped by the military commander, like the top people in the military, or the government might be doing it. This is all a hunch and a theory. Digging deep. It's probably untrue, but you never know. I mean, yeah. I'm going to do an episode about insurance companies and how they're basically useless. They're pointless. There's literally no fucking reason why they should even exist. And this is going to be the good one. This is the big one. I'm going to do an episode about basically all the major religions, kind of essentially, they all have their own forms of like eternal heaven or eternal hell, whatever it may be. And most people just believe one. And, I want to like throw just an idea out there. You have to go listen to the fucking episode and tell people about it. And if you don't tell somebody, you're going to be cursed. I want to curse you and your entire familial, your ancestral bloodline for 23 generations into the future. If you don't tell at least 5 people about this podcast. Now! You don't want a 23 generation ancestral bloodline curse. It's not like any normal curse. So that means 23 generations into the future, they're still going to be bearing the brunt of it. But Hayden, I'm not having any kids. I'll make you. That's the whole point of the curse. You need to tell, no, 10 people. Just send them a link, text them a link right now, please, and thank you. On Spotify or YouTube, which nobody watches it on YouTube. I don't know why people, what's wrong with everybody? Story time. Story time. So back when, this was the very beginning of February of this year, I was in my car and I didn't really have much on me. I didn't even have my wallet. I didn't have a phone charger. I didn't have any clothes, any food, any drinks, any water. I had my shotgun though. I had my car and my shotgun. And I remember, God, what was going on that night? I might have been doing an Amazon delivery in Maple Grove. I might have picked up in Maple Grove. I don't remember what I was doing earlier, like if that was actually why I was in. But I ended up driving over to Andover, Minnesota, where I grew up. And I remember it was kind of snowing. I was just thinking about my life, my history, my memories. And dude, it's so weird. I just like parked down the street from my dad's house because it was like the middle of the night. It was like midnight on a weeknight, I think. Or maybe it was Friday. It doesn't matter. No, it was Wednesday. It was Super Bowl week. Gonna do more NFL football lines as well. Specifically, the NFL futures bets. Yep, I got a bunch of episodes and I haven't really been recording at all lately. So, yeah. Nobody tells anybody about the podcast. It's just basically me and my mom listening to it right now. And I broke my cell phones, so I can't post links on any social media. Which is pretty much the only thing I ever did on social media. Just go post a link and then get off of there. Run for the hills. But I was parked down the street from my dad's house and it was snowing. Very windy. And I was just thinking about all the memories growing up in that house. You know? Hmm. And I was just going through all of them. I was talking out loud to myself, and whatever the fake nothing is, used to be, is not, which is everything. It is not everything. Just nonstop squawking. Never letting me like think, like process my thoughts without like responding verbally. Which is not, the most conducive and productive way to like um, try to figure out if you're in a coma dream or not, or if you're multiple coma dreams deep. was responding to somebody's thoughts as a voice from like nowhere. It would only be possible if you're multiple coma dreams deep. Mental illness, but it's not that. It's nothing. It's none of them. I was just talking about all the memories. Yeah, I said he. You just blank space, underline, underscore. It's a nothing. Just nonstop. And then, like 20 or 30 minutes it had progressed of me just thinking about my life. And I just started screaming. Anyways, I just dozed off for a little bit right there. I need to pick me up. If you're ever feeling tired, folks, and you don't have any caffeine or like a stimulant, smack yourself in the face a bunch of times. Dunk your head under, like, turn the bathtub on, but keep it like cold water. Dunk your head under the cold water. This is what I used to do in the mornings when I didn't have time to like rinse off and shower. It wakes you up like that. Dunk your head under the cold water, the bathtub. Try to do it for like 30 seconds. It's actually like once a day for 30 seconds. It's actually really good for your mental health, anxiety, and depression. A lot of people have a lot lower suicide rates who do this. Like anywhere from 30 to 90 seconds every day. And then smack yourself in the face a couple more times. Dunk the head under again. Maybe do another few smacks and you'll be awake. Which is weird because I'm not really tired right now. So why am I falling asleep? Probably just reminiscing about good old times. I was parked down the street, 3 houses down from my dad's. I was just looking at the house, which I haven't been inside in almost 2 years. Well, it's been 1 year and 8 months, so 20 months. 600 days. In 2 months, it'll be 660 days. I thought it was going to line up like perfectly with the day I got arrested, but actually it might. Or it might be like 13 days off. Whatever. Who cares? Joking with your life? God, I wish I was on the road. Just driving the country. Ugh. I can feel the Satan, like, just hanging around trying to get me to sell my soul. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, dummy. You dumb fucking retard. Never gonna happen. And the longer I stay here, the more people are just getting up to heaven around the world, being saved, seeing the light, going into the light, staying there. Not trying to win the lottery. Because my lottery is another light vision. I can just feel the Satan hanging around, being like, "What is? We're gonna wait for the right moment here." He's got to get. He's on the verge of. He's past the brink. He's gone off the deep, deep, deep end. His dick doesn't work. Only when he thinks about selling his soul does his dick work. Which is really fun. Oh, we're getting somewhat hard. Yeah. Really good vibes. But I just started screaming at the top of my lungs for like 30 minutes straight in the car alone at the fake nothing. Well, the real nothing. I went on like a 40 minute screaming rant where I didn't even like stop screaming. T. Testosterone. That's what you need to do, Hayden. You just need to be a man and grow a pair of balls in the spine and have some testosterone. Stick up for yourself. Stand your ground. That's what you need to do. Has anybody ever screamed at the top of their lungs for like 30 minutes straight without stopping? Being right about pretty much every point you make. We're getting harder. I'm actually kind of shocked. This is like it's like a leap year. You know how they have February 29th once every 4 years? Pretty rare thing. Let's go see if we can find a good video to watch. And I don't know what's wrong with Pornhub lately, but the home screen seems to be filled with child porn, at least on my devices. It's really not cool. It's fucking so fucking insane. That's a pretty good one. I'm on the homepage. Anyways, yeah, whatever. I just find it insane how I like made a fucking comment to one of my neighbors about there being too much fucking child porn on the homepage of Pornhub, and then it's like I would click on a Brazzers video, and whenever you click on a company, a porn company, all the recommended videos are always videos from porn companies, like verified official companies. But right after I told her this, like a couple hours later or the next day, all the recommended videos were like homemade, like porn videos of people with like camcorders. So it's not an official company doing it. And half of them were fucking child porn. So that's what it's like to be me. Like a little taste of that. I guess if it I don't even know. I'm gonna be done after that one. Yeah.